Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanepya Vaishnavepya Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutay Mahat Prema Puro Vibhur Nirmaya Kshetaya Namusha Purusha Bhungte Gunan Sudasa Sudasatmaka Yalang Krishna Bhagavan Vacham Sime Hare Krishna. So I can see regular visitors of Bhagavad-Gita class. It's a little confusing. Is it 31 or 32 today? 31. Okay, because the bookmark was at 32, so that was a little confusing. So it's definitely 31. Yeah? Anyone has been here yesterday? Okay. Yeah. 32. Okay, yeah. Yesterday was 31? Okay. Yeah. That's why the bookmark is at 32. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yadrichaya Chopapannam Yadrichaya Chopapannam Svargadvaram Apavritam Svargadvaram Apavritam Sukhina Kshatriya Partha Sukhina Kshatriya Partha Labhante Yudam Idrisham Labhante Yudam Idrisham Yadrichaya by its own accord. Cha also. Upapannam arrived at. Svarga of the heavenly planets. Dvaram door. Apabritam wide open. Sukhina very happy. Kshatriya the members of the royal order. Partha O son of Pritha. Labhante do achieve. Yudham war. Idrisham like this. Translation purported by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. Purport. As Supreme Teacher of the world, Lord Krishna condemns the attitude of Arjuna who said, I do not find any good in this fighting. It will cause perpetual habituation in hell. Such statements by Arjuna were due to ignorance only. He wanted to become non-violent in the discharge of his specific duty. For a Kshatriya to be on the battlefield and to become non-violent is the philosophy of fools. In the Parashar Smriti, or religious codes made by Parashar, the great sage and father of Vyasadeva, it is said, Kshatriyo hi prajarakshan shastra pani pradhanayan nititya para sanyadi kshitim dharmena palayet. The Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens from all kinds of difficulties, and for that reason he has to apply violence in suitable cases for law and order. Therefore he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings, and thus, with religious principles, he should rule over the world. Considering all aspects, Arjuna had no reason to refrain from fighting. If he should conquer his enemies, he would enjoy the kingdom. And if he should die in the battle, he would be elevated to heavenly planets, whose doors were wide open to him. Fighting would be for his benefit in either case. Yadrichaya chapapannam svargadvaram apavritam Sukhina kshatriya partala bhante yuddham mitrisham. O Partha, happy are the kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. So, Krishna is encouraging Arjuna to fight, and he says, Sukhina kshatriya partha, that this is the happiness of the kshatriya, fighting opportunity. Because if you win, you enjoy the kingdom on earth, and if you lose, you enjoy heavenly kingdom. So if you win, and if you lose, you also win. So that's the idea in Krishna consciousness. If you follow dharma, then if you win, and if you lose, you also win. Right? Like the example of Jatayu in Ramayana, right? Ravan was stealing Sita Devi and he was trying to stop Ravan. And he was very old, so he actually knew that he cannot fight with Ravan. Ravan is too powerful for him. But he tried his best. And in the end, Ravan cut his wings and he fell to the ground and he was dying. And Ravan left with Sita. So externally he lost. But when Lord Ram came, at least Jatayu told him what happened, right? And Lord Ram so much appreciated Jatayu's sacrifice, self-sacrifice for his service, trying to protect Sita Devi, that it says he personally performed the last rites for Jatayu, like son performs for the father. And so Jatayu went straight back home, back to Godhead. And who is Jatayu? He's not even a human being, a vulture. So this is how bhakti-yoga is powerful. Even vulture can go back home, back to Godhead, if he serves the Supreme Lord. And so we will all have to lose this battle, right? Struggle for existence, human race. Only hope is divine grace. This is what Srila Prabhupada wrote in Vyasa Puja offering to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So we will lose this battle. We will die sooner or later. It's only a matter of time. And so the only choice is that it's a bad bargain to be in the material world. But Srila Prabhupada said, devotee is the one who knows how to get a best deal out of the bad bargain. And best deal is you dedicate your life, whatever is there, in the service of the Lord. And, it's like, if I'm going to die anyway, why don't I die in a dignified way, serving the Supreme Lord? So that is the devotee's consciousness, right? And no matter what our nature is, whatever we do, if we act according to our nature, then sukhina, it gives pleasure, right? So Kshatriya, he's very enthusiastic if there is fighting opportunity. Brahmana is very enthusiastic if there is preaching opportunity. Vaishya is very enthusiastic if there is business opportunity. And Shudra is very enthusiastic if there is service opportunity. So, and the best deal out of the bad bargain is whatever nature we have got from the Supreme Lord, is to dedicate this nature in the Lord's service. And sometimes the nature can also be mixed. And sometimes it is perceived that mixed nature is an obstacle. But actually, it is even more advantageous to have mixed nature. Because if you look at a perfect example, Srila Prabhupada, right? He had mixed nature because he was born in a Vaishya family. He was doing business, but then he had this Kshatriya spirit also, right? Joining Gandhi's movement, trying to fight against British rule. And of course, Brahminical nature was very strong in him because he was born in a Vaishnava family, right? He loved worshipping deities, scriptures, all these things, preaching. And we can see that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, whose Vyasa Puja we just celebrated, he tried so hard to establish Krishna consciousness in the Western countries, right? Was sending his disciples, and some of his disciples were very qualified, pure brahmanas, the best of the best, sannyasis, naishtik brahmacharis. He was sending all of them to the West. They achieved something, but not very much, right? Maybe it was too dirty job for them, preaching in Western countries. And they were young and full of vigor and enthusiasm, and they were fully supported by the Math, by the mission. They got funding, they got manpower, everything was pre-arranged for them. They could arrive with white gloves, do the job, and nothing to worry about. Could they do much? Not really. Little bit. Comparing to the resources which were invested, the outcome was pretty meager. But then Srila Prabhupada, our Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he goes and he's already 70, not much strength, not much energy, not even much health. 2 heart attacks on the ship, and no money, and no contacts. Nothing is arranged, right? Later, speaking to his disciples, he said, nobody invited me here, not even you, boys and girls. I came on my own accord. And then he achieves such an amazing success I mean, his success is so remarkable that even materialistic people, they count Srila Prabhupada as one of the greatest achievers of the 20th century. According to CNN report, they have been, they calculate materially, from material standpoint. There have been 10 special people in the 20th century who achieved mind-blowing success in their career, even though they started it very late, after 50. And who was the oldest on the list? Srila Prabhupada. Because for them, America, it's all about money. Nothing else value, they value nothing else. They even ask each other, right? What is your worth? And if you tell them high figure, okay, you're a valuable man. If the figure is low, nothing to talk about, right? So it's a very pragmatic society. But even they respect Srila Prabhupada. Why? As Prabhupada said in one class, I came with 40 rupees. After a few years, I had 40 crores of rupees. Huge numbers. I think someone calculated about 3 billion worth in 11 years, starting after 70. That's pretty remarkable. I mean, just think about it, 108 temples in 11 years. So it's unbelievable. So we might ask, how come that Srila Prabhupada, with no support, with no contacts, with nothing, at such an old age, and he is not even coming from like top level Brahmana family, he comes in from Vaishya family, and how he managed to achieve such a mind-blowing success in the same Western world where so many of his god brothers could not achieve much. Anyone knows the answer to this question?
The mercy of Lord Krishna.
Mercy of Lord Krishna. Well, mercy of Lord Krishna is open to everyone, like sunshine is always there. Guru's order. Well, but I was asking this question from my Guru Maharaj. Was Srila Prabhupada exclusive person who got the order of his Guru Maharaj? He said no. So many. I mean, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was telling everybody, go to the West, start Krishna consciousness. And even paying for it and sending people and making arrangements. So many times. So many got the order. Everyone got mercy. Why Srila Prabhupada was the one who took full advantage? Because of the unflinching faith on the instructions of the spiritual master. Yeah, faith is one thing, of course, yes.
He had unflinching faith on his Guru Maharaj.
Yes, that's true.
He said, and speak as it is. Prabhupada gave the Bhagavad-Gita as it is. He did not manipulate anything. So he gave the truth to everyone, so people accepted that truth.
Okay. That's by the way, very interesting. One point from preaching, because the first kind of disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati who were sent to England, mostly England, Germany, they tried, because England at that time was the hub of the British Empire, which was worldwide. So, and there was one lord, they tried to preach to the elite, to the top level. And one Lord Zetland was there. And he was fascinated by Brahmanas in India. So he said to one of those early Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's disciples, Swamiji, can you make me into a Brahmana? That sannyasi said, no problem. You just have to follow 4 regulative principles. No meat, fish, egg, no intoxication of any kind, illicit sex, gambling. So even coffee and tea you have to give up. Then Lord Zetland said, give up my British tea, 5 o'clock, no more 5 o'clock, this is impossible. I cannot do this. Right? So, also giving message as it is, not much success. But what Srila Prabhupada did? He didn't tell them, give up this, that. No, he said, take the holy name. Take prasad. Take devotee association. Not much talk about rules and regulations, prohibitions. He haven't started with negative message. He started with positive message. And once people started chanting and taking prasadam and getting devotee association, they got hooked up. They got addicted. And then naturally, all the bad habits started going. And actually, there is one class, very interesting. Srila Prabhupada says, I was not exactly sure if I tell you, you have to follow 4 regulative principles. Maybe you will tell me, Swamiji, thank you very much. Maybe it's time for you to go home now. We heard enough. He was not sure if people will accept. He was not actually stressing 4 regulative principles. But when at some point the disciples were asking, is there anything more? Can we follow something else? Prabhupada said, yes, I was waiting for this question. Actually, to take it further, you have to get initiated. And initiated, I think the first initiation, Srila Prabhupada didn't even tell them to follow 4 regulative principles. Just next morning, you remember this famous note? All the initiated disciples. So he didn't even tell them. He got the give name initiation. Next morning, he put up this note. And they were like, whoa, this is what we signed up for? I was not exactly sure if I was ready for that. So, yeah, telling as it is, but he was very expert in terms of applying message according to time, place, and circumstance. Good. Somebody else?
Yes. Srila Prabhupada is Shakta Yosha Vatava Klot Nityananda.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
Yes, and besides, Prabhupada came from the spiritual world to this planet, and astrologists didn't find either his previous life or his future life. And besides, my Guru Maharaj told us how Srila Prabhupada told them, his disciples, how he came to the material world. One day, Krishna came up to Prabhupada and said, you will go to the material world to preach. And Prabhupada said, I am not sure I want to go to the material world, it is horrible. But Krishna said, you just write books and the rest I will do.
Yeah.
So such a story, my Maharaj.
Yeah, it's all true. Yes. It's all true, but we're looking for the answer which is directly connected to today's verse. Yes. And so the answer is that Srila Prabhupada had exactly what it took to succeed in the Western world, as opposed to his god brothers. He had the exact combination of natures which made him successful, because Western world is a business world. It's not Brahminical world. So you come with Brahminical mindset, you will get lost if you don't have business expertise. So Prabhupada knew, okay, it's all money talk. So let me apply business plan in here, right? He succeeded. And the Kshatriya spirit made him very resilient, and he could endure serious challenges. I mean, he had to go through hell sometimes. And of course, Brahminical side allowed him to produce such an impressive books. Even scholars were so, amazed what kind of work it is, and teach and train so many disciples. Yes, Prabhu.
Says if Krishna he takes away everything from a devotee. And when he gives with the 10 hands, with 2 hands, how much you can do. So this was Prabhupada's example. He used to give that. Krishna took everything from me. Then he gave me so much, I cannot take that much.
Yes.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
You just spoke about Prabhupada parallel to the nature of the people of the Western world. So my question here is that, in our early years of Krishna consciousness, we are usually given the message of detachment, right? But then what we often understand detachment to be is that just give up everything and somehow or other try to stick around with principles of Krishna consciousness. But then much later we realize that our nature is completely different. So that's where the mismatches, and at times we get very discouraged. I've seen many devotees have left the movement and have even moved on. So, how do you, help me understanding that what detachment is and what kind of message should we give people? Because Prabhupada never spoke of detachment from the 4 regulative principles. He never even spoke about it. He just gave them initiation, and the next day he, wrote on a piece of paper and gave them this understanding that if they want to become good devotees, they must follow it. And often what happens is, when we are very new, our enthusiasm is very high, we tend to absorb everything. But then later, our original nature tends to come back. And that's where it gets very difficult for devotees to hang on around the movement.
Yes, that's why Srila Prabhupada said, it's quite amazing what kind of big thinker Srila Prabhupada was, because we think of Prabhupada's achievements and it's unbelievable, in 11 years, 108 temples. It's almost like one temple each month or something, like 1.5 months, maybe a temple each 6 weeks at least, right? This just one aspect of his achievements, and so many books and disciples and 14 times around the world, and you name it, everything. So, but we glorify Srila Prabhupada as mega super achiever. But what Srila Prabhupada was telling about himself, I was successful only 50%. And the other 50% is Varnashram Dharma. And you just look at how much Prabhupada stressed Varnashram Dharma. You go to the next room, Prabhupada's bed, where he left from to the spiritual world. The last statement of Srila Prabhupada is there, talks about importance of Varnashram, because he was very practical and he knew how to connect people to spiritual practices, from ignorance to passion to goodness and to Shuddha Sattva. And the process is Varnashram. So he said, unless Varnashram is established, half of my mission is not complete. So he expected us to establish Varnashram. For this reason, it's really important for us to understand Bhagavad-Gita and understand everyone has different types of natures. And the first and foremost point for success in Krishna consciousness is that engage your nature in Krishna's service. That is repeated statement of Bhagavad-Gita. Shayan swadharma viguna paradharma svanushthitat. Same thing, even the same words. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhupada was just like a touchstone, just like he met the devotees and devotees, send them here and there. He said, we do not know anything, go, you just chant Hare Krishna and everything will be okay. So this was just like a touchstone, Prabhupada. So he told all the devotees to go here and there in different parts, and devotees were not knowing Bhagavad-Gita or anything. He told you just go and chant Hare Krishna. Then later on the Bhagavad-Gita, other things, Prabhupada developed and gave them. But first he asked them just go. And they had a faith in their spiritual master, and they went and they established all over the world the temples.
Yeah. But one thing he gave them, besides chanting Hare Krishna, he gave them vision. He was very powerful, visionary leader. And I've listened to one class, and it actually is mind-blowing. He was telling the devotees that if Krishna consciousness is established all over the world, how everything will prosper, how happy people will be, what kind of changes, positive changes, there will be peace and bliss and so many other things. And he painted this amazing picture. And after that he said, but I'm an old man, how much I can do. So, but you are very intelligent, young boys and girls, so please help me. That was, mind-blowing and heart-touching. So this was Prabhupada's mood. I'll give you everything, but I depend on you. I depend on your seriousness, I depend on your sincerity, and so that's why his disciples, they were ready to sacrifice their lives. Yes, Prabhupada.
They were purified by Prabhupada, or the disciples. In the beginning, they never could give any rules and regulations, but he purified by the Harinam and Prasad. And as they purified, they become more curious to know more.
Mm-hmm.
That's how, then he said, I was waiting for this time that you will ask me this question, but what can we do for you?
Yeah.
Then he started getting it. As they progressed, he introduced the rules and regulations.
Yes. Yes.
So they can take it.
And this is what he explains in his books, that bhakti is very natural process. There is nothing artificial. It develops automatically as you advance. But you need to know exactly how to grow people, to help people grow in Krishna consciousness. And I was thinking in regards to this message of renunciation, right? That we have wrong idea of renunciation. That's Mayavad renunciation. Mayavad renunciation is Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, right? That only spirit is true and Jagad is false, Mithya. Just reject this world. This is bad world. Give it up. Have nothing to do with it. So this is Mayavad idea. But Krishna conscious idea is Krishnara samsara koro chadyanachar. So this world belongs to Krishna, right? And the only thing we have to renounce is anachar, bad behavior. We should renounce our foolishness. This is what we have to renounce. Our selfishness. This is what we need to renounce.
Maharaj, with your point of giving this example of Mayavad philosophy, wherein they say that this world is full of misery. We understand that this world is full of misery, and we will also suffer if we are part of this world. But then, having said that, misery is going to come to everyone. Does that mean that we just completely give up all hopes of living a beautiful life? For example, if we see that this life is also a gift of God, it's up to us whether we use it in the service of Lord or we use it in our own pleasures. But then, if we try and explore life, most of the time people get associated with spiritual organizations to have better understanding of life. But then at times what happens is it's just vis-a-vis, it's just the contrary. They become more sad and depressed in life.
Yeah.
But it's really bad. And I'm sorry to say, but then I've had a lot of instances wherein we've just been told that this material world is full of suffering. Now what do? Run away?
Yeah, that's why.
Run away, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that the kind of understanding of renunciation, many devotees have is more like Mayavad renunciation. It's not Vaishnava renunciation. Vaishnava renunciation is Bhagavad-Gita. That's very interesting how in the beginning of Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna clearly that he wants to renounce, right? Kim no rajena govinda, kim bhoga jivitanava. Krishna, I'm not interested in kingdom, rajena, and bhoga, enjoyment, if for this sake I have to kill so many of my relatives. I'm not interested, right? Arjuna, real Vaishnava, no interest in pleasure, no interest in power, no interest in fame, right? Because this is, as we understand, this is three most powerful subtle attachments in this world. Desire for wealth, desire for power, desire for fame. Then chapter 11, text 33. What Krishna tells Arjuna? Tasmat, after, explaining everything, he says, Tasmat, therefore, conclusion. Tasmat tvamutishta yashola basva. Now, Arjuna, get up and become famous. Yashola basva. Get fame. Jitva shatrun bunksha rajam samridam. Kill your enemies and enjoy flourishing kingdom. Get wealth also and power. What Krishna is talking about? Mayavata inihata purvamava nimitta matra bhava savyasachin. I already made all the arrangements for you. Just become instrument in my hands. So Arjuna is saying no wealth, no power, no fame. Krishna is saying yes wealth, yes power, yes fame. That's Bhagavad-Gita. And what is the concluding verse of Bhagavad-Gita says? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdara Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. So wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, in that place, for sure, there will be Shri. What is Shri? Opulence. And Vijaya, victory. And Bhuti, superpower, right? Like you have this Vibhuti Yoga, 10th chapter, right? Superpowers. So great power. And Niti, Dhruvanitir, Matir Mama. What is Niti? Niti means purity or morality, right contact. Like you have Suniti, mother of Dhruv, right? It's interesting, both words, Dhruva and Niti, mentioned in this last verse of Bhagavad-Gita. Because Dhruv is very firm, very determined, right? By his determination, in 6 months, he achieved something others could not achieve in many lifetimes, right? Just 5 years old boy. Why? Because he comes from Suniti, and who is Suniti? Extremely pious, extremely good lady, right? Real devotee mother, so real devotee son. So, and Krishna says all these things are there if you perform devotional service. Everybody is looking for this. Wealth, everyone wants wealth. Power, yes. Fame, yes. But what is the message of Bhagavad-Gita? Not that you have to give it up. You have to use it for Krishna. Give it to Krishna. Not give it away, not, throw it away, but give it to Krishna. So that's the message of Bhagavad-Gita. And giving it to Krishna doesn't mean you lose it. It means you'll have more. So that's why there is no loss or diminution. Nehapi kramana shasti pratyavayana vidyate svalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bayat. That this is the kind of situation, if you win, you win. If you lose, you also win. So Krishna consciousness is absolute process. And yes, everybody wants these things, and instead of telling people no, 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 neti, 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 we have to say yes, just add Krishna. That's all you need to do in your life. Because if you add Krishna, all these things will be permanent. You will not lose them. You will not suffer. So yes, and my conviction is that our Krishna consciousness movement has to become the movement of remarkable achievers. on personal level. Devotees have to be achievers, because if you want to impress the world with Krishna consciousness, you have to show the example. Okay, these people, they join the movement and they become achievers. Because if this is the movement of losers, how many people will be impressed? Right?
And then the point is the losers will themselves spend in the kind of Mahabharata.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is very important. It's like Mahabharata, very interesting. That Maharaj Yudhishthira tells Krishna, Krishna, I have a desire. Krishna says, yes, what do you want? And Krishna is thinking maybe he will ask, pure devotional service, something devotional. And then Maharaj Yudhishthira says, I really want to become the most powerful king on the planet and most famous king on the planet. And Krishna is very confused. He says, how come? I was thinking you are a devotee. You don't have any material desires. And Maharaj Yudhishthira says, yes, I don't have any material desires, but because people of this world, they think if you are a devotee of Krishna, that means you are a loser. And indirectly they criticize you. But I want to show the example. Here is a devotee of Krishna, and he has the greatest power, and he has the greatest wealth, and he has the greatest fame. But of course, the other thing, if you just strive for these things only, there is no chance to achieve them, right? Or if karma allows, you can achieve, but then you lose it, right? As so many people have done. Like Shukadeva Goswami says in Bhagavatam, this is the world of names, right? There have been so many great achievers, but where are they now? Like Ambarish Prabhu, our Alfred Ford, he says, so who is your great-grandfather? He says, Henry Ford. And he says, so where is he now? It's like, been such a great personality. I think the very first multi-billionaire in America, right? He was extremely wealthy. I think he was more wealthy than Bill Gates, Henry Ford, at his time, right? So he says, where is he now? So that one question, Ambarish Prabhu says, helped me to realize that what is any achievement in this world, you can be multi-billionaire, but after you die, you lose it all, and where are you going? That's a important question. And so just striving for these things on their own makes no sense, because you're going to lose it all. But if you do it for Krishna, then it becomes complete process. Yes, do devotees want money or they don't want money? They want. Why? Yeah, because if you have money, you can organize so many nice things for Krishna. You can build temples, you can feed so many people prasadam, you can organize festivals, you can do amazing things, right? If you have no money, the only thing you can afford is just sit and chant for yourself. So maybe you can benefit yourself, but that's it. You cannot do much for Krishna.
How many people would have the courage and the audacity to just sit and chant Hare Krishna and not meet the basic requirements of life also? We've all been born and brought up in a particular way or culture or lifestyle. So at least you got to maintain that.
Yeah, some people can be so renounced and austere that they might just, sit under the tree and chant Hare Krishna till they die, but this is very rare instances. But if we want Krishna consciousness not just for a few of us, but for the whole planet, we need to help people to connect to Krishna on their level, according to their nature. That's why Prabhupada says you don't have to change anything, right? And this is not he says. This is what Bhagavatam says. This is what Lord Brahma says. Stanestita shrutikata tanuvan manobir. You don't have to change anything in your life. Be who you are, stanestita. But shrutigata, dedicate yourself to devotional service, tanu van manobir, with your body, with your mind, and with your words. So just add Krishna. That's all. That's the only thing we require to understand ourselves and help other people to understand. Whatever success you want to achieve, or the only thing, instead of doing it for yourself, do it for Krishna. Education, yes, but don't become educated just to become puffed up in this world, but educate yourself to achieve some success in life for Krishna's sake. Then you will become glorious. Yes.
As you said, Prabhupada said he want to be loser so that he can go to heaven planet. He don't want to be winner and be in the material world. So we see the Pandavas, he made them winner and they were in the material world. And all the Kauravas, they went to heaven planets.
Kauravas.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Shastra says anyone who has died in Kurukshetra, they went to the spiritual world. Yeah, because anyone who is dying, Srila Prabhupada explains that those warriors of the Kaurava army, they became purified in two ways. One way, that Krishna was glancing at them, they were purified when they were dying, right? Just imagine, that if you glance at Krishna's picture while you die, it's a good thing, but just imagine Krishna is glancing at you when you die, how much better it is. And second way, they get purified, he says, by the sharp arrows of Arjuna. Because Arjuna was a pure devotee, so with the sharp arrows, he was purifying them also. And so yes, they went to the spiritual world, all of them.
Pandavas were ruling this material world. Many years they were ruling this
Yes.
world. And after that they went to spiritual world.
Well, actually, Pandavas, we understand, are eternal residents of the eternal associates of the Lord in this world. They're always taking part in Krishna's pastimes, but they belong to this world. Interestingly enough. But wherever is Krishna, that's also spiritual world, so there is no difference in that sense. Because Krishna is all good. Whoever comes in touch with Krishna gets benefit. But if we want people to practice anukul bhakti, then we need to become expert how to encourage them and how to help them to grow in their spiritual life. And if we want Varnashram Dharma, then it's very important that professional people, they understand how to connect their lives to Krishna. And Prabhupada was very emphatic about it. He said, whatever you do, you're a businessman. Do your business for Krishna. If you're a professional person, do whatever you do for Krishna, right? If you're an artist, you can paint for Krishna. If you're a manager, you can manage for Krishna. If you're a scientist, you can be Krishna's scientist, right? Like Bhaktivedanta Institute he started. Even if you have political nature, like devotees were, they started this In God We Trust political party. And Prabhupada was quite happy about it, actually, in the beginning. So anything and everything has to be connected to Krishna in the right way. So that's the idea, and that is the missing link if we want to help the world to embrace Krishna consciousness seriously. We need to help people about it. And starting with ourselves. Ourselves, we need to become expert. Because devotee means expert. What Srila Prabhupada was saying, devotee is someone who knows everything about something and something about everything. You heard this formula? Everything about something and something about everything.
Actually, this is the explanation for the definition for engineer. What is meant by engineer? Engineer means he knows something about everything and everything about something.
Yeah. Yeah, everything about something means whatever you do, you can figure it out. But in one area you really specialize. You know every single detail about one particular thing. You're a real professional in one area. And Prabhupada said this is how devotee is supposed to be. Devotee should be very expert. No layman approach. So, any other points, questions, comments, complaints, suggestions? Huh?
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So we'll finish here. Thank you all very much. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.